cool dog. That's one cool dog.
Okay, I might need like a clean cut of this song. Oh shit, you can find it on YouTube. Cool Dog main theme. Oh, I found it.
This song fucking rules.
It's really good. Cool Dog. I love that.
Cool
Actually,
dog.
the banjo.
Kind of just want to listen to this song. That's one cool pup dog. It's the whitest fucking shit. They put barks on a beat.
What?
They put barks on a beat.
What? Oh my god.
This is embarrassing.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
This might be the first movie in a long time where the people suck.
I know. I think it's the only one. I think it's the only one where the dog was indeed a cool dog and
Like,
people were garbage.
we have a really bad problem on this podcast of the title of the film being misleading about what the movie is about.
Mm-hmm.
Cop Dog. It's about a ghost dog, right?
Yep. Karate Dog. It's about a cop dog.
It's about a cop dog. Cool Dog. It's about a cool dog.
It's about a fucking cool dog. It is pretty much only about a cool dog.
It's
else.
only about a cool dog. They didn't get much further on that, but
No.
you know what?
There is a whiteboard.
Cool dog.
There is a whiteboard somewhere in an office that says "cool dog" and it's circled about 5 times, and that's the storyboard for this fucking movie.
Well, what happens after this scene? Cool dog. Did you not see the board?
What do we do
It
in this
says
one
cool
though?
dog.
But it's cool dog. You do a cool dog. Do the cool dog. Fuck, man.
This might also be the most dog paws that are fake per minute.
It has so
The film?
much fake dog paw, which makes this movie so much better. Like, I am so happy because it has all this. Hey, one of the biggest problems about our podcast, though, like you said, is that normally we're stuck talking about people because the people are interesting and the dogs suck. They make these dogs awful in all of these movies. This movie is all about a cool dog. We get to talk about the cool dog. And the dog was really cool. Nobody else was. Oh.
This movie feels like it cut a lot of corners in its filmmaking too, but
no.
we'll get to it, I guess. So, I'm Boyks. This is Ilyon.
Welcome.
We are here with Rough Cuts, watching the early 2000s, released in 2010, probably movie Cool Dog.
Yeah.
Which has a lot of ADR problems. Also,
Dude, you're wrong. It doesn't have ADR problems. It has ADR solutions.
Okay.
The dude at the beginning going like, "Yo, man, that's a cool dog."
I guess, like, there's not really a
moment.
way to talk about this movie without going scene to scene, right? Like, there's a very basic plot.
No, there isn't.
But
No, there isn't. There's no. The plot doesn't show up until at least 2/3 of the way through the film, and there's about 5 different plots before that don't connect to it at all.
yeah,
It is
that's
a
true.
series of like 20 or 30 vignettes of this dog doing cool dog shit, and then them just being like, all right, next cool dog scene.
The cool dog did a cool dog thing. I think we're done with that scene. Let's go to do cool dog stuff now, because that cool dog stuff was not interesting enough.
Like, as this movie opens, he's walking to school with his cool dog as they share headphones, which is amazing. The dog's
really
headphones are like on its collar. It's so fucking stupid because nowhere near the dog's ears. Like the dog,
and it's playing the hit the hit song that took the nation by storm, Cool Dog.
well, it's the only legally allowed song. in this film's universe, obviously, because that's literally
that's
the only song that
plays
ever
anywhere.
plays. Well, that's not fair. There's like 2 rap songs from the early 90s.
There's some other cool rap songs that, well, cool. This movie. Okay, so this movie came out in 2010, and that song would have been cool in 1992.
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't know why they thought that was cool at the time it came out, but it definitely was not.
There's a lot of things I have questions about with what they've decided what was cool. But anyway, the opening of this film is that he's walking with his dog to school, and then they're like, oh my god, Sharon! And Sharon is this little girl that somehow, like, crashed her bike off a bridge. It's fucking wild. But she's, like, hanging from a bridge on, like, her tricycle, like, propped up beside her to make it look like maybe she crashed it. And then the dog rescues her. And then she exits the film.
Yeah, she's gone. So this like 6-year-old girl is riding a tricycle on a train bridge.
Yes.
Specifically. So it's a high up train bridge, and if you've ever seen those, there's nothing between the rails other than, like, there's boards, but you couldn't ride a tricycle on it.
No.
And she somehow rode that on, I assume, the rail, and fell sideways to the point where the bike actually lodged itself between 2 wooden beams. And then she grabbed onto the metal beam and is hanging off the edge. And I don't understand this.
Oh, yeah,
at all.
Like, you need fucking Sherlock Holmes on scene to deconstruct this accident, because it's
How did
pretty
she
wild.
do this?
Yeah, it's hard to convey in audio, but the way that it's set up is just like, that girl could not have ridden that bike up there. There's nowhere to ride it. There's no way, if she did ride that bike up there, that she could have crashed it in that way. And if she crashed in that way, there's absolutely no way that she would have fallen off the bridge to a point where she would grab this totally separate beam. Like, every single
the way
bit of
she's
it is
holding the
wrong.
beam, she could just get off.
Yes. Yeah, she could just stand up and walk
nothing.
off. Yeah. But anyways,
But our cool dog saved her, so what a cool
to
dog.
show that he's a cool dog. I'm gonna do that every time. It's so good.
Oh, man.
It's so good.
Yeah. So anyway, they had a parade going on in town for Mardi Gras, and they're like, hey, let's also make this Mardi Gras parade that's just randomly happening look like a celebratory parade for our cool dog saving this small child. And we'll throw beads and everything, and it'll definitely not look like Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
With signs saying Mardi Gras.
With signs saying Mardi Gras, and all of the people will be cheering, and we'll make it look like they're cheering for the dog. Even though every time that we have the dog and the kid walking through the crowd, everybody's just kind of like, why is that kid walking this dog through the crowd? And they're like trying to like move past the kid awkwardly.
Yeah.
Like all these people like, what the fuck? Like, get out of the way,
Oh,
kid.
someone's shooting a shot or something. Oh, we should get out of the way.
Yeah, it's pretty great. There's also, this establishes a big theme in the movie once they do the Mardi Gras scene. That theme being having people on a balcony cheering, reacting to the cool dog. Because that happens 20 times in this film at least. Like, dog
Every
does
time the
cool
dog-
thing, and then they show a crowd of people on a bus, a train, like a subway platform, like a porch, a balcony in New York, all going like, woo! Like, it's fucking wild. Oh,
you know how, like, in RPG sometimes your character will do something and then, like, a crowd of random NPCs will, like, clap?
Yeah, like, there'll
It's
just be,
like
like,
that.
random villagers will, like, converge on the spot to cheer you on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah, it
It's
tries
so
to have, like,
weird.
a feel-good moment of, like... So, this is the big problem. One of the big problems with this film. I almost said the big problem, but oh boy, this film has so many.
Yeah.
This is not... We were happy to watch this film in some ways. This is not a good movie, and it's not a fun movie. This movie sucks ass. But one of the big problems of this film, which is that it tries to have a heartwarming moment, right? But, like, every 30 seconds. Like, every 2 minutes, this dog is doing, like, a cool dog thing that's helping out somebody that's supposed to be, like, heartwarming and fun. but it's so constant and it's so insipid that it very quickly runs out of room to, like, do anything with that. Because, like...
It's just a barrage of nonsense.
Yes. I mean,
That's
it
the
starts
problem.
out with the dog rescuing a girl from a train bridge. It feels like the end of the film. And it's in the first 4 or 5 minutes. And then it does, like... So then when afterwards, later on, like, the dog does, like, a scene where he gets to New York. I'm skipping way ahead. But there's a woman that has, like, a purse snatched from her. And he chases down the purse snatcher. And, like, that's supposed to be, like, a cool dog kind of moment. But, like, all the wins out of it, because we've already seen this dog, like... ride on the rails, rescue a girl from a train bridge. Like, we've seen, like, all of these scenes of it doing these things, and it's like, I guess it got a person. Like, it doesn't matter anymore because it's been so eclipsed.
It feels like they keep trying to escalate that situation as the film goes on to try and make more and more ludicrous and ridiculous situations that the dog can help someone with.
Yes.
To the point where they even make up a story about him saving a pilot in the mountains. From a plane
they just
crash.
do a flashback for it. It's so
like the kid just makes up the story for
I
no
don't
reason.
know. You say makes up the story. This show's logic is absolutely that story is 100%
It totally
true.
happened.
That
Yeah,
totally happened. It is 100% real.
That dog went into the mountains of Tennessee from Louisiana because he knew that this pilot was about to crash.
Yes.
He went all the way up to the mountain, opened up the door, and then left immediately and didn't do anything to actually get him off the mountain. What a cool dog.
What a fucking cool dog. Alright, do we talk about the plot? There's like 12 plots. Like, okay, so... Anyways,
we should talk about one of them.
The idea, let's start at the beginning plot, I suppose. The beginning of this film is that, so the dog rescues the girl, then he goes home with the parents. The parents are like, oh no, we've got to move to New York because your dad got a new job. And mom's dead, of course, sorry. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Mom's dead.
Yeah, sorry, mom's dead.
So,
Whoopsie.
It's
Better
a dog
show the
movie.
grave.
Of course the mom's dead. Like, there's got to be a dead parent. That's just traditional dog movie thing. So dead parent, gloss over that, doesn't matter. They never bring it up again, so who cares? And as they go to New York, they're like, oh, well, we can't take the dog with us because the apartment doesn't allow any pets. We're going to leave the dog here until we can find an apartment that does allow pets. And so it's like, oh, I can't leave my dog. There's the plot. And...
Well, there's the plot, and then there's also the abusive stepmom that tells the kid to, hey, fuck you, we're going to New York.
Well, but
your
that
dog
part's
sucks
obvious
anyway.
too. Women are all bitches, Boyks. Didn't you know that from this movie?
In this universe, they hate women in this movie.
I apologize, but man, this movie hates women. This movie hates women. It hates women. There are 2 women in the entire movie.
There are 2 women, and they're both awful.
They're both horribly abusive monsters.
Yes.
Yeah, so the one is the stepmom who's like, fuck it, who cares about the dog? Just stop being so whiny about your damn dog, kid. And, like, they never address that. They just accept that as just like, well, that's what moms are.
Well,
that's
by the end of the film, it's assumed that they're a loving family, and the stepmom is there to support him, but she's just the same old awful person.
Yep.
There's no growth.
No.
There's no change.
No, there's no change.
She's just terrible.
There's no change in any character in this film. Okay, so, and then instead of leaving the dog, so they say, okay, we're going to leave the dog with somebody that we can trust here, which is Meth Head Carney guy at the abandoned state fair. They rescued the girl at the beginning of this movie. Her dad comes in and is like, wow, that's a really cool dog. If we can ever do anything for you guys, let us know. And he's like, why don't you give him a big bone? Why don't you take the dog for a week? How's that? Why don't they leave it with that dude? Like the friend of the family who seems like a really cool dad. No. Let's leave him with Meth Head Carney dude at the state fair.
Who are you going to trust, all right? Your family friend whose child your dog just saved, or Meth Damon?
Meth Damon? Fuck you. You've been waiting for that. I see why you were trying to interrupt me now. I'm sorry for talking over you. I appreciate Meth Damon. God damn it. God damn it.
Okay, they take the cool dog. The dog has a name, doesn't it? Rainy. They take the cool dog to the state fair, which looks like it's just a bunch of random cages in an old theme park. I guess.
It says zoo
It's weird.
over it, and they say it's a zoo.
Yeah.
But it's tragic. It
doesn't.
It is very obviously like an abandoned, rusted out like shell of something, and this is where they're going to leave their dog in a cage. And it's like, I have issues with this movie. This seems
so they abandon their dog with Meth Damon at the Carney Zoo, and Meth Damon walks over to the dog's cage. Is like, oh, dude, dog, you have a cool iPod?
Yeah,
because the kid left the iPod with him.
Yeah,
he's like, I want a cool iPod. It's mine now, dog. As it's playing the Cool Dog song, and the dog breaks out and then just proceeds to like.
Just dunk this fucking fool
just
for like
fucking
5
prank
minutes.
the shit out of this guy, yeah.
Like for no reason. They didn't set up so a traditional movie, which this is not, would have done like, okay, there's the plot of the kid in New York trying to get the dog, and then there's the plot of the dog trying to escape this meth head Carney for the rest of the movie, right? Like him trying to track the dog down, like maybe he's trying to like sell it and have like a puppy mill, maybe. Do you know what? Like, there's some kind of thing.
Something.
Like, there'd be something there.
There'd be something.
And then he's trying to track the dog down and stop it, and it's all the hijinks of the dog trying to escape again and again. This movie...
He wasn't even abusive to the dog.
No! It doesn't set up that he's abusive. It doesn't do any of the work for that. And it just assumes, like, well, look at this fucker. He's gotta be abusive, right? And it's like, yeah, why did the parents leave him with this guy? But anyways, it does that, and it's just kind of like, well, I mean, look at him. Of course he's abusive. And then the dog just, like, Home Alones him for 5 minutes and leaves.
Yeah.
And leaves. And then he's gone. That's the end of it.
He, like, pulls out a red flag in front of a bull and gets him hit by a bull. He throws his hat to a llama that spits in his face. He pushes him down a slide backwards into some poopy mud water. Like, what an asshole.
It does all this stuff. You say bull... I say, like, miniature cow with horns? What was that?
Yeah.
That was like... That thing looked like... As a pony is to a horse, that cow was to a bull. Like, it was...
It was definitely a miniature cow of some kind. He
couldn't have ridden that bull because he would have been able to touch the ground on both sides with his feet if he sat on it. Like, that's how big it is, and this bull's supposedly, like, running him over and goring him. It's incredibly
It doesn't
cheesy.
really make any sense.
It's so fucking dumb.
The kid gave Rainy, our cool dog, a postcard that was blank that also had their address written on it, but didn't.
Because it was obviously blank. You can see it many, many times.
Yeah. So the dog knows the address because it can read English, because it's a cool dog.
It's a very cool dog.
We're understanding that. Okay, so... How is the dog going to track this kid through multiple modes of transportation, like train, boat, car, from Louisiana to New York City? How does that happen?
Ooh, pick me.
Yeah, okay,
Alien,
go.
I was paying attention to this film. I've got this one.
Okay.
He tracks the kid through his scent, right? Because that would have made sense.
Idiot. You moron. You buffoon. It's Twizzler.
Of course. Yeah. Dogs love
The kid
Twizzler.
leaves a trail of Twizzler.
What the fuck?
Out the car and the train and the subway and everything.
Across the water, through, like, on the plane. Yeah. Like, it's like... It's so... They travel from Louisiana to New York, and the kid's throwing Twizzlers on the ground. That is a 22-hour drive. And it's not just that they drive the whole way either. They drive, and then they go on a train, and then they go on a ferry, and they go on, like...
Yeah.
And the dog just, like, hijacks boats and trains and all kinds of things to chase down this kid. It's incredible.
Dog steals a lot of vehicles.
Really does. This dog has magic powers, though, because if the dog enters a building or vehicle at any moment, that dog immediately gains the power to assume the form and position of any person on that vehicle or in that building. Because
he's a doppelganger.
He will jump on a train. So, like, he follows them, and then he goes into the train yard, and of course there's hobos in the train, and he manages to get on the train.
The hobo scene, though.
Yeah, I know. I'll get to it in a minute.
Hobo scene.
But, like, also, I'll let you do the hobo scene in a minute. But then, like, after he has the hobo scene, then he's on the train. It's just showing, like, the train is a little montage of them traveling on the train. And it just shows him piloting the train.
Yeah, he's driving it.
He just drives, like, what? Why? And then, like, he jumps on a ferry, and he's sitting there in the back of the ferry, and then 5 minutes later, it shows him, like, pulling all the levers with, like, fake dog paw everywhere, and, like, pulling on the horn to make, like, the, you know, like, the tugboat, like doing all that.
Yeah,
like,
the ferry horn.
Yeah, he's, like, operating
so
all of the things on the ferry and on the, like, tugboats and stuff, and you're like, wait, but... where are the people? Where is this dog? What is this dog doing? Like, did it hijack these things? Like, what the fuck is happening? And it does that over and over again. That's like 6 different times that it does stuff like that. But anyways, when it goes on the train, it meets some hobos, and...
Right, so there's some hobos that have been living in this train car for obviously years. They've set up a whole apartment. It's very nice, actually.
Yeah, they pull out like a little tea set and everything when they... sit down.
They're very fancy hobos.
Very much.
So they eventually set up a checkers game, and 2 of the hobos are playing against each other. And one hobo says to the other, "Man, you're in a real tough spot." "Yeah, I know. And if you can get out of this, I'll give that dog my dinner." So the dog picks up the checker and fucking jumps over 4 of them and then says, "King me." And then afterwards, they start playing a jig on, like, a washboard and a banjo. The dog gets a harmonica and starts crooning, and, like, holy shit.
God, right! I forgot about that! Not only does he grab the... Okay, they have a harmonica, and one's playing a banjo, and one's playing a washboard, and one's playing something else? I don't know.
Something,
like some kind of horn instrument or something, right? And then, anyways, they're all playing those, and the dog's on the harmonica... And then it cuts away, and then the dog's on the banjo, and the guy's on the banjo, and then it just cuts back and forth between the 2 of them, and you're like, is the dog the man? Is the man the dog? I don't know where this movie is going with this. But there's one consistent thing, and that is that this is a fucking cool dog.
This is a really cool dog.
A really cool dog.
So, okay, our family made it to New York, and our dog is hot on their trail because of fucking Twizzlers. Whatever. The family makes it to their new apartment and meets their new soups, which are an awful lady.
Well, you don't need to be redundant. Ladies are all awful in this.
Oh my god, this movie.
It's so bad. Like, I just...
And her husband that she is abusive towards.
Yes. Ruben and Muriel.
They... even their names are bad.
Well, it's got, like, a very anti-New York big city thing. Like, that's why the mom is awful, too, because she's like, oh, boy, I can't wait to go shopping at, like, all of these nice places in New York. And she's like, oh, I can't wait to get to this small hick town in Louisiana, which, yeah, going to New York would probably be pretty fucking rad compared to small hick town in Louisiana. But, of course, the movie's like, oh, see, she hates small town America, and it has like a flag waving in the background and like a bunch of people saluting. The flag's
so speaking of America,
flag, by the way.
Yeah, speaking of America, I don't think the director of this film has ever been to America.
No,
because this movie is like a weird movie fantasy version of America, where if you've seen only films of America, you would then gauge that is what America is like, and then make a film based on that preconception. Yes. So everything is like just super weirdly exaggerated and shallow in a way that most films display America.
Like even these children's movies and dog movies and stuff like that are pretty on the nose about most things tend to handle it slightly less like a sledgehammer that this one does. Like the very obvious New York bad, full of assholes kind of thing. Like, all these different weird stereotypes that it goes into right away is just, it's super bizarre. There's a lot of stuff like that.
It's really weird. So, the soups, I guess they just sort of let them know again, hey, you can't have a dog because they're awful. Yeah. Just like people. And the only thing worse than dogs are children.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. So, the kid notices Ruben, the abused husband, carrying a dog into, like, a back basement alley of their apartment building. Yeah. He's like, oh, well, I guess we can have dogs because they have a dog, so I'll go ask them again. And like, no, idiot. You can't have a dog? What are you, stupid?
You don't listen to us, you damn kid. Yeah.
Ah, shit, he saw us. Like,
yeah.
Okay. So, the point is, they have a illegal pet shop underneath their apartment where they're selling pets like cute goats and parrots and kangaroos and I guess a dog.
Yeah. That takes us like 20 minutes to get to, though. Like, they just kind of have...
It's a while.
Yeah, they have him, like, take the dog and take it down there, and she's like, oh, you're gonna let them find out about what's going on in the basement. And then it's just like, all right, back to cool dog shit. And there's like...
Yeah, in the meantime,
cool
our dog
scenes
carjacks a valet car.
Yes! Yeah! Yeah!
Saves a homeless man from the punks that were in Blade.
Those obvious New York punks that you know about.
Those obvious New York vampire punks.
It is absolutely a ripoff of the Blade scene where he's like picking on the homeless guy and then they all just get murdered.
And then he uses his fake dog paws to buy 2 hot dogs.
Oh my god, I forgot about the hot dog thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody in this universe can understand this dog, and this dog can do everything. It hijacks cars, it drives cars, it, like... The car driving scene and the carjacking scene is incredible.
There's no point to it.
No.
It just happens.
It just happens. Like, he also goes I'll do the hot dog scene, you do the car scene. How's that? The hot dog scene is, so he saves the hobo, this homeless guy, and then the guy's like, oh, I don't have any food, so like, we gotta go get some money, so they go panhandling, and then he runs over to a hot dog vendor, and he's like, oh, you want a hot dog, boy? And the dog's like, woof. And he's like, oh, okay, well, do you got some money? And the dog nods, and then it's like, all right, that sounds good, like, how many? And the dog barks, so he says, all right, I'll make you 2. Do you want mustard? The dog's like nodding and shaking and stuff for the whole thing, and he's like, all right, pay up $3. And the like dog like pulls out of his ass, I guess? I don't know. Like, this is like this dog paw that slides in and gives this guy like a 20.
That dog definitely has a wallet. Yeah. It's a cool dog.
It's just dog's wearing pants, has like a full suit on, just like walks up to this guy, is like, oh man, Mondays, right? Have 2 hot dogs, please. It's so fucking weird. Just slides over this guy some money, grabs a couple of hot dogs from him. The guy puts them like around the dog's neck, and then he gives them to the homeless guy. And like nobody this whole time, everybody's like, oh man, that's just a cool dog. Yep, that's what dogs are like, going out and like beating up people.
Yeah, they're like things. Cheering from the balcony.
Yeah, of course. Like when he's like beating up the homeless guys, there's a shot of somebody. I'm sure there's a shot of somebody in a balcony somewhere at that point, like cheering.
Yeah, when he beats up the punks to save the homeless guy, our cool dog wouldn't beat up a homeless guy.
No, sorry, other way.
He's a cool dog. Come on. He would carjack them.
He would absolutely steal a car. You wouldn't download a car, but a cool dog would fucking jack one from a valet.
There's like a hotel valet. Somebody gets out of the car. The valet guy like walks over. The keys are still in. The dog just like walks up, gets in, shuts the door, sits down like a human, turns the key, and then just drives off with the car for no fucking reason. And then doesn't go anywhere, and then the scene ends.
Yeah, he drives. That's not fair. Point. He drives around for a little while, and you get a bunch of shots. Of
that's true.
You get a bunch of shots.
There's
of
like
people
a bus
to cheer because, of course, you've got to have
woo, cool dog.
Cool
that
dog.
Driving. What a cool dog.
And then He pulls over, parks, jumps out, and then that's the end of the scene. And it just goes back to like the other part of the movie, and it's like
there was no reason for that scene.
Nothing. There is absolutely nothing there for that.
During all of this, our child Jimmy has gone to a new school in New York and is being bullied by. You would expect these bullies to break out into song at any moment, but they don't.
They walk up and they start snapping.
Yeah, they're like snapping
in their leather jackets.
Like, hey Jimmy, where's our lunch money?
This is one of those scenes that like we were talking about where it's like, this is someone who has never been to school in America. Like they watch something like West Side Story and they're like, okay, that's how kid gangs are, right? Like
they're like hiding behind steps and like jumping out over walls and like, holy shit, these bullies.
So good.
They're like negotiating with him like, hey Jimmy, you bring your money today?
Boyks,
no.
Boyks.
Oh well, you better
Boyks.
Tomorrow.
What's the gang? Hold up. What's the gang called, Boyks?
Are they the Cools with a K and a Z?
They are!
They're so cool!
The kids actually do that. They're like, yo, I'm Brad, and this is my band of ruffians. We're the Cools with a K and a Z. And it's like...
That's how you know it's cool.
What the fuck? What, like, 10-year-old child is doing this?
So the only way they bully him is they just, like, very casually push him down. Mm-hmm. Not to hurt him, though. That would be mean.
No, very gently. You gotta dip the child.
Yeah. So as they're bullying him one day, our cool dog, Rainy, finally shows up to stop the bullies. Now, I have to ask you, the listener, how you think our cool... Oh, we never mentioned it was a German Shepherd. It's a large German Shepherd.
Yes.
A huge, vicious, very friendly, lovable German Shepherd is going to stop this gang of ruffian bullies from having a musical number on the schoolyard. How do you think that would happen? How do you think? It could be anything. It could be viciously attacking.
I feel like it's going to drive a car over them based on the rest of this movie.
It could drive a car. This dog knows how to drive.
It knows how to drive. We've established that. It would make sense, right? Maybe that's why we established the valet scene.
No. It sneaks a fucking tennis ball cannon into the playground. It just shoots them with it.
It just has it set up directly at the bullies for their bullying spot, and they like hop over the walls in like cool guy fashion, and then suddenly it pulls a lever and starts firing fucking tennis balls at them.
It's the dumbest thing. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason.
Oh man. You say that it's the dumbest thing, but there are so many very stupid things in this film that it's hard to rank them. I just want to point out, too, I want to go back just a minute. So we had, like, the whole purse snatching scene that I mentioned earlier, and that happens when the dog first comes to New York, and the woman pulls out, like, when he gets her purse back from the bad guy, he gives her, like she goes over to him, and he's got, like, the rolled-up postcard in his collar, and she looks at it, and it just says New York, and it's totally blank. And she goes, oh, I know exactly where you live. New York City. I'll take you there. And just takes him to the... But she takes him to the apartment. And then she's like, oh, okay. I can't get inside of the apartment because your family's not home. I guess I'll just leave you here, right? And then you'll know what to do when they come home. And the dog nods at her. And she goes, oh, you're a good boy. See you later. What a cool dog. And just walks away and leaves the dog there. But the important part about that, the reason why I bring it up, is that is the very, very first thing that happens when he goes to New York. Like the carjacking and like the hot dogs and all that stuff happens after. Right?
Yeah.
But he'd already found his family. He's there in front of the building. Why did we have to have all this stuff in between?
You know that scene in the room where Tommy goes to the flower shop? And then at the end, they're like, oh, cool doggy. That's this whole film. It's just that. Yeah. Things happen, and then they ADR stuff over it.
Yeah.
So speaking of things that don't make sense, our dog hero, Cool Dog, breaks into their underground illegal pet shop.
Yes.
And has a plan to release the animals. One animal Do you want to explain the scene? Because I don't.
I want to, actually, because it's so... Alright. Legal pet shop, we finally get to it. First, we kind of have an establishing thing of Muriel and Ruben selling a parrot to knock off Tony Soprano, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll give you $3,000 for that parrot. And then they're like, all right, and he gives them $100, and they're like, wow, cool, $3,000.
Close it up.
He's like, all right, sure, and he hits and walks away. And then the dog comes in afterwards, and they leave. And he lets the parrot out, but he also lets out a kangaroo and a couple of other animals they have. And then they're all like, the parrot over the whole time, this whole thing is going through ADR. Walk a doggy, cool dog, prison break. And then he runs over to the piano they have in the corner. I'm not making this up. And this sounds like we're doing a bit, and it's not a bit. The dog runs over to a piano and just starts doing a rag, just starts playing.
With fake dog paws,
with a lot of fake dog paws, and sits like a person. And they do this whole scene of this dog doing a big piano number while the birds squawking over everything, and all the animals are jumping around in forward and reverse. They keep on showing a 5-second loop of animals jumping 3 or 4 times and then reversing the footage so the animals go backwards. And they do that for about a minute, and then the scene ends. And then,
what a cool dog.
What a cool dog. Then immediately we go to the people coming back to give him the parrot, because they didn't give him the parrot then for some reason. And he's like, oh my god, where'd my parrot go? And they're like, oh, you must have stolen it. But he already paid them in advance, so that makes no sense. And they're like, well, why else would it be only that your parrot's gone and none of the other animals? Well, they stand in a room of only empty cages because all the animals got let loose. Cool dog, though. Fucking cool dog, though. That is the most bizarre scene, not just because of how absolutely wildly nonsensical it gets, because it just keeps escalating in terms of what an acid trip it is, to where the dog starts playing this piano even, but also the whole thing of, oh, but you stole this parrot, but he'd already paid.
It doesn't even make sense.
And also oh, well, only the parrot's gone, but all of the animals are obviously missing. And there's the whole plot point of he let all the animals go. It's just, the whole thing is so, every single thing that happens in that entire scene is nonsense, doesn't make any sense, and doesn't go anywhere. It's such a fucking bizarre nonsense scene.
It's fucking wild.
It is
I don't understand.
One of the stupidest, weirdest scenes I have ever seen in any of these films, and that's saying something. These movies, I always think that they can't surprise me anymore, and I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. This movie had some surprises for me, because that one I didn't see coming. That whole scene, it's 5 minutes of just nothing, but in the weirdest way.
All right, after that scene, the Soups, so the husband and wife, hire a Ghostbuster to go kill that fucking dog that let their animals loose.
Yeah, so we're introduced to our 4th or 5th Home Alone style character. There's always a team of weird, creepy criminals or dog catchers or something in these vignettes, and you're always like, oh, okay, well, these are our bumbling villains. But it's just different ones every time. There's just a million bumbling villains.
Their Ghostbuster guy goes after the dog, and of course shenanigans ensue, where the dog is doing Home Alone things, dropping paint on his head, making him fall, knocking him off of a 3-story balcony into a trash can, letting the dumpster get grabbed by a garbage truck, thrown into the garbage truck, and then crushing him to death.
Yes.
As people laugh on a balcony because New York. And you know what? That's actually fair.
They actually nailed that part in New York
yeah.
because earlier they were very off from New York, where the woman that was looking for the apartment building where the dog lived was like, "Hey, random child, do you live around here? Do you know the owners of this apartment building?" He's like, "Oh yeah, sure. Let me tell you all about them," and is like super helpful. When we've both been to New York, and what would that conversation here? Let us role play this conversation. You can be the small child, and I'll be the woman. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, small child, do you live around here?
Fuck off! I don't know you. What the hell do you want?
All right, there we go. That's and scene. There you go. That's New York. Yeah. Fuck off, bitch. Walk away. Like, what? There's no way this kid's like, oh yeah, I don't know all the this woman, everything. Here's their whole deal. They hate dogs. Like, he goes into a whole speech. Anyways.
Our cool dog then leads Jimmy.
Yeah, crushes this guy in a dumpster.
Yeah, after murdering the Ghostbuster, he leads Jimmy, and I say Ghostbuster because it was literally a Ghostbuster costume with like a fucking cattle prod that looked like a gun and a shower curtain that was supposed to be a listening to. Or not shower curtain, a shower head.
Shower head, yeah. He had like a weird high-tech shower listening device.
It looked really cheap and lazy.
Head. It's so good. Like, it's like the old B-movies that are like, oh, we've got a space laser, and it's like a caulking gun, like very obviously with like bedazzled
It's like a Dalek. It's like the Dalek, the original Dalek with the plunger and shit. It's like that.
Yeah.
So they kill the Ghostbuster. The dog then leads Jimmy to the underground illegal pet shop so that the kid can learn about it and then I assume tell other people was the point. The two bumbling idiots find Jimmy in there and the dog, and then they go through some more Home Alone nonsense of trying to catch the dog.
Yes.
Which includes a lasso.
Yeah,
and we didn't think that she could lasso.
And the movie didn't think that you thought... The movie knew that you didn't think that she could lasso, and so it addresses that. And she, like, throws the lasso over him, and she goes, aha, didn't think I could actually lasso, did ya? And I'm like, fair point, movie.
Shit, yeah.
You got me. I did not think this weird New Yorker woman stereotype could actually lasso a dog. Nope. You got me.
Yeah, so they tie the dog up, they go through a bunch of scenes of trying to catch Jimmy, which also eventually leads to the guy who was trying to buy the parrot catching him, but I don't know why he's still here.
Why is
and now
he
he's
in
just
this
part of their criminal
anymore?
ring?
Like, he just wanted to buy a parrot. Why is he now
just injects himself into their scheme?
Yeah, he just...
For some reason?
He's like, oh, I don't want to get caught by... And he's always like, oh my god, I don't want to get caught by the authorities. I can't go in the clink again. And it's like, then... You could have just stayed with buying a cool parrot and not done the kidnapping for some weird reason for these random strangers that you don't know. Like, what the fuck? Why?
They catch Jimmy, the dog gets away. So they're going to now send Jimmy to Mexico on a ship because they know a guy.
Yeah, they know Captain Nelson. No, that's his name. He's literally Captain Nelson, who is...
Our bumbling idiot number, 5 or whatever, 6,
Oh, God, it's got to be more than that. There's so many of that stereotype in this.
So, as they're driving away, the dog got a friend that Jimmy made at school to go help him talk to the cops who somehow actually did something... Which is totally unbelievable.
I know. They have the New York Police Department listen to a small child and a dog about a kidnapping and actually do their jobs. Well, they were having coffee, too, I might add, which...
Yeah, they were busy doing nothing. You don't understand.
Yeah, like that... I can't believe that those cops that were doing absolutely nothing would have given up doing nothing and done something. That's just unreal.
They tracked them back, broke in with a no-knock warrant, and then went in guns blazing, shooting everybody.
Yeah, that part they get accurate.
Okay.
That's what they do.
That's true.
You think that they were making this up, but they just bust down the door and just run into this room because that's how cops work, I guess. Yep.
And as the van is driving away, the dog steals the license plate off the back, which is very clearly still there in the next scene.
Yeah, and it
the car's
changes
driving
numbers in the dog's mouth.
Yeah.
It's weird, like, the license plate is entirely different from when the dog grabs it to when it's driving away. Both times, it's real good.
So they use the license plate to have a police helicopter follow the van to the docks.
Yeah, I love that. Like, the license plate
Somehow.
does not come up at all
Like,
because it doesn't matter. You can't track the car through traffic because of the license plate, so they show a helicopter tracking them. So it's just totally useless. Anyways.
The villains take the kid that they kidnapped, which is a way worse crime than selling animals in a basement.
Yes.
To Captain Nelson, who is very shittily green screened onto a ferry
with like a bunch of high tech shit around him. He's got like he's driving a goddamn spaceship on this like little rusted out tugboat when they go into his like control cabin. It's amazing.
So they pay him. He measures the kid to figure out his measurement for a box, build a box within about 10 seconds that can also fit a chair and a full-size child sitting in it.
Yo.
Somehow. And then afterwards, the kid kicks the bunion on the foot of our bumbling idiot who just wanted to buy a stupid parrot.
Knock off Tony
lets him go. Yes. They do a Home Alone thing again. And then they catch the kid, and it didn't even fucking matter that he got away. So, like, whatever, man.
Yeah, they do, like, a whole Home Alone chase scene of him, like, knocking cement onto people and all this shit. And then they grab him, tie him back up, and put him in the box. And then we just like, reset the scene. And they're all in the exact same positions, but now it's the child in the box, tied up, rather than held by somebody outside of the box. And they just go right back to the same scene. I'm positive that they, in fact, shot those scenes back to back and then did the chase stuff. Because they just had them in the same blocking and everything. It's great.
Oh my god. So we're at the point where the kid's about to be shipped to Mexico. And the cops finally get to the dock. They open up the doors that were closed onto the building they're in. Mm-hmm. And the dog runs in. As the captain is about to close and nail shut the box, which would definitely suffocate the kid and kill him, they say, "Hey, Captain, do you like dogs?" No, why? Well, you're about to get hit by one, dude. Or something. And then the dog, like, jumps at him, knocks him into a pit, and clips him through the floor.
He hits him so hard that he goes out of bounds.
Somehow.
The guy just fucking disappears. He speed runs straight to heaven through the fucking cement floor because they fall like 20-some feet. Like, this is a pit into a cement floor, and the guy's just gone. And,
so the cops do nothing. They show up, arrest the three idiots that aren't the captain. Mm-hmm. After, I guess, there's some weird scene of the kid, like, they're trying to appeal to the kid, be like, say, hey, we didn't actually do anything evil. We weren't going to kill you, right, kid?
We were just playing hide and seek.
I'll give you money. And the cops are like, fuck this. They just arrest them anyway. Like, okay, whatever.
I did like that the cops eventually, like, because that scene was so ridiculous of these, like, villains being like, no, like, we were just playing hide and seek, right, little Jimmy? And then the cops are like, no, we don't. I don't care what the kid says. Just fucking lock them up. This is bullshit. Like, why are we doing this? Just take them away. And I'm like, okay, good. At least they addressed that.
And then the kid realizes, hey, where's Rainy? Where's my dog? Oh no, it's in the pit. And they go to the pit, and the dog's fucking dead.
Yep.
Just dead.
Yeah, the dog's laying out on. And this is where the dog is cool, because it's been laying there for a while on the cold cement. It's now an ex-dog.
That dog is past tense.
Oh, it's
pining for the fjords.
I can't fucking believe that this was the, as much as, like, the piano playing prison escape scene was, this is worse. This is so fucking weird. I couldn't believe that they actually killed the dog.
I felt so bad. God, there's something wrong. When I see a dog die in a movie, I start laughing now. This is so bad. This podcast has ruined me.
It's still...
I'm still laughing about it.
This has
so
broken
bad.
us that's what we do now. That we see the dog die and we're like, ah, dog's dead. Why'd they kill a dog? And we just...
But, okay, to be fair, it didn't
broke
break you. It
True.
broke me.
I was sitting there like, I was just stunned because I
damn
couldn't
it.
believe that they did it. And the captain's just gone.
And that's not even the dumbest shit in
No.
this scene, either.
Well, that's
not
why
even the dumbest
I said
shit.
that I couldn't believe that they did this, because we're going to have a moment of silence for 5 seconds as chat ponders, okay, how do they now end the film? Because there is, like a minute of film left? Like, there's nothing left. There's almost nothing
very
left.
little.
There's probably a minute and a half to 2 minutes at most left on this clock. So, dog's dead. They have, like, the New York cop that's a medic go down and, like, put a stethoscope up to him and be like, oh, it's fucking dead.
The dog verified he's dead.
They put it on
100%
a stretcher and put a tarp over it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
They were ready to bury that dog.
30 seconds. Resolve this film.
You said 5.
Well,
You
no.
said
I'm saying that, like, there's 30
I'm not
seconds
waiting
left
30
in the film.
seconds.
We're gonna keep people
okay,
thinking
okay.
about this.
Whew.
5 seconds of silence. Okay. Think about what will happen to this dog. All right. Think in your mind in 5 seconds. 5, 4. Yeah, they resurrected with Twizzlers. Yeah. There you go. That's what you
Twizzlers,
expected, right? You
yeah.
nailed it, chat. Good job. Well done. Thank you for listening. I'm glad that you all know dog movies as well as we did.
It was Twizzlers. They used candy to resurrect a dog from death's door.
From life. Amazing. Yes.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I hate this movie. It's a miracle. Twizzlers revived the dog.
Twizzlers. Candy of choice for our Lord Jesus Christ.
Why don't they hand out Twizzlers at communion? Not even all dogs go to heaven too fucking did that.
They did it with Twizzlers, man.
They feed the dog a Twizzler and it just gets up. You're like, hey guys, I'm still alive. Oh, and I found the captain. He was hiding in a
just
shed.
runs over and finds the totally unharmed captain
What
from
the
this like
fuck?
25-foot fall onto cement that killed the dog, and the captain's just like hiding behind some boxes, totally fine. The fuck, man? How is that the end of this movie?
Oh, that's not okay. They also give the dog the key to the city and make him a citizen of New York City. So it's
Fine.
there's more.
That's like
There's-
10 seconds,
there's-
though.
You
It's
can't.
real
That
fast.
dog's a hero. Remember that time he carjacked that valet car? And that ferry? And that guy's
ferry,
fishing boat?
And that guy's fishing boat, and the train.
And the train? This
And the
dog
tugboat.
has killed a lot of people and stolen their vehicles.
This dog is the
What a
star
cool
of a
dog.
GTA.
What a
Like,
cool dog. Oh my god,
he's
this
a
is
Grand Theft
GTA.
Auto main character.
Holy
That's what he is.
Shit, it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, man. You're right. Okay. Whew. What a cool dog.
I cannot fucking believe that's how they ended this. I am still stunned by it. Like this is like 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago that we had this happen, and I am...
There's not even a sponsorship. There's no reason for it to be Twizzlers. There's no reason the dog needs to get back up. They don't need to, like, the dog...
I mean, there's no reason for
could've
them
just got
to
a
have
different
killed the dog.
There's no reason
Why
to
did they
kill the
kill
dog.
the dog? Why did they do any of that?
Man,
Well, thanks for listening to Rough Cut.
What a cool dog. Cool
What
dog.
a cool dog.
Cool dog. Boom, ba-dum, dum. Cool dog. Cool dog. I guess we should rate our cool dog, right? This is one of the coolest dogs I've ever seen. This dog is so cool.
If there is one thing this film does, it makes this dog real fucking cool, man. Like, even just for the carjacking scene alone, there is more fake dog paw in that carjacking scene than there is in all 29 other films that we've watched combined.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, easily. There is so much fake dog paw in this movie. It rules. This dog just does everything, and it's wild and insane, and it makes this dog incredibly fucking cool. When it carjacks, I forgot. Even when it carjacks, at the end of the carjacking scene, it flips down some fucking sunglasses.
Yeah.
And that's when it ends it. It's like, when he pulls into park, he fucking throws down some sunglasses on his face, and then it cuts to a new scene. God, they make this dog so cool.
So how would you rate this dog?
I hate so much of this movie,
That's the
but
question.
This dog is... I'm trying to think if this dog... I want to rate it against all the other dogs that we have. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking that it's a cool dog out of Greta.
Cool dog out of Greta. I would rate this dog as a dog wearing neon shutter glasses out of 10.
This dog wears Vans neon shutter glasses and
a backwards hat.
Backwards hat and has like a smoke.
Yeah.
Like a roach. It has like a roach all the time.
And is also really good at checkers.
Yes. Fuck this dog. This dog, It almost makes this film worth watching to see this dog do shit. Because this dog just does shit. This dog does a lot of shit. If there was a way to, like, supercut only the weird dog shit from this movie, that would be the best way to watch it.
Correct.
By a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the people
Chop
suck.
out everything else. Oh, God. They're so weirdly stereotyped. The dad is this insurance guy, but he's, like, weirdly ripped and looks like a cop. Like, he felt like a cop, right?
Yes.
Like, he just has this air about him that's like movie cop. Like, he's got like the chiseled jaw, like he's kind of weirdly
I don't think there's a
shape,
single likable person in this entire film.
Oh God, no.
No. I hate every
No.
single person in this movie.
Yes. The kids, the dad,
the idiots, the bumbling fools. The cops. Fuck the cops.
The cops. I think that I would say that the homeless guy was kind of cool. I kind of like the homeless guy.
The hobos were kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, the hobos were kind of interesting, like the train riding hobos. The homeless guy in New York was kind of rad. He was just like, he's like, yo man, I'd give you a bunch of food, but I ain't got no money. Like, I ain't got a dime to my name. He was kind of sweet. He was great. Yeah. He had some good delivery. I liked him. That was about it. Like, he was there for a full 30 seconds of this movie to elevate it. So,
well,
there's that.
That was Cool Dog. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Rough Cuts. Thank you, everybody who mentions the podcast and retweets us and anything else that you do to let others know about our wonderful little project. This is episode 30. 30 whole episodes.
Been going for a while.
We've been going for over a year now. And we really are very appreciative of your support, so thank you.
God, no sign of stopping, huh? There's just... You still have a full board of, like, 30 different dog films for us to watch?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Oh, yeah, that's a good one. 6, 7, 8, 9... Oh, there's the whole Air Bud Cinematic Universe, the Beethoven Cinematic Universe...
there's
9,
so many
10,
bad dog
11, 12, 13... This is going to go on for a while.
I signed on and I thought, we'll hit like 12 and be done, because there's only so many. There are so many of these bad dog movies, dude. There's a lot of these movies.
16,
God. But yeah, you can always check us out at Rough
18.
Cuts Cast on Twitter. You can email us if you've got a suggestion for a cool dog movie, or if you want to share something with us. Like, we've gotten a few pieces of art with Benji the Hunted. We'll put those up on our Twitter and stuff too. So like, it's like I said, Gmail. It's roughcutscast@gmail.com, and that's the same for our Twitter. It's at roughcutscast. And yeah, we really appreciate all the support. We'll see you in a couple weeks for a new episode.
See you next time.
That's one cool. Now Jimmy and Rainy were the best of friends. Then Jimmy moved to New York, it almost had to end. But Rainy didn't give up. He started tracking, found Jimmy in trouble right here in Manhattan.